What's up, One Nation? The Lynchburg track and field teams are ODAC champions again. Another three-peat, third year in a row. We got Courtney Drumm, the grad student, with us. She was first in the 1500 and the 800. Courtney, obviously you've had a sensational grad student season, but just talk us through what the emotions were like and just getting out there and performing.
Yeah, this week it was obviously rough for all of us. We were all going through the emotions very differently depending on the person. Um, a lot of us knew Frank for a long time, and even though I haven't been here that long, I've heard of Frank since my freshman year in undergrad all the way in North Carolina. So I've known him for a while, finally got to meet him, and I was very happy to and spend time with him. So yeah, we just try to bring it all together, and we're like, okay, we got to do this for Frank and get out there, work our hardest together, and we have our teammates and our coaches supporting us behind it. So.
Well, we know just obviously coming into a new culture can be tough to that transition period, and you've always talked about just how welcoming Lynchburg was. So talk a little bit about what the girls mean to you and just obviously this whole team in general to be able to have this moment together.
Yeah, so I didn't have very many girl teammates in undergrad, so having a lot of girls here and they're all like my little sisters, like younger sisters, I absolutely love it. They always support me. They know, like, sometimes I come from classes and I'm drained and they're like, it's okay. And I'm like, what's the workout? And they're like, oh, I checked it for you because I know you don't have time. So it's really nice to have all of them, and I just really enjoy it. And I can always rely on them. And if something goes wrong, I can always be like, hey, Lauren or Allison or Sarah, like, can you help me? And they're always willing to.
Well, on the track, very few things have gone wrong for you. You've PR'd in every single event up until this championship and the outdoor season.
Yes.
You're a grad student. That doesn't always happen. So how are you able just to continue reinventing success and getting those PRs?
I feel like a lot of it's just the very supportive coaches and teammates. Because I was like talking to coach after UVA. He's like, did you ever think you could run this in the 10K? I was like, no. And I didn't even think I'd be nationally ranked ever. So it's just the whole aspect of this team has been a lot and meaningful to me.
Absolutely. Well, final question now. Outdoor is kind of over. We know that the groups will split up.
Yes.
What is your vision on now?
So after this year, we're going to wait till nationals to make a decision about next year, I think. I still have some eligibility left. But if that's not what is meant for me, I will just start doing road races. So.
Well, a lot of racing in store, and the season is far from over. Courtney, thank you for your time, and go Hornets. Well, folks, this is special. I've got my high school teammate. He's pretty good for Lynchburg, too, Jacob Hodnett. Second in the 4x4, second in the 400 at the ODAC Championships, and you maybe had one of the most stressful tasks of the entire meet. You had to make sure you had that anchor leg to bring Lynchburg home. Just walk us through the emotions.
We were warming up for that 4x4, and we watched the 5K guys run, knowing that they were going to get the job done, but WNO had a little bit too much of a lead on us to close it out there. So going into it knowing we were 1 point down and that we had to beat them and run well was definitely a little stressful, but we all kind of came together on it, came together with the coaches and talked about it, and we just knew we just had to run our normal 4x4 and just get the job done. Do it for Frank. That's really what it all was about this weekend. So just happy that we were able to close it out right there for the win and bring home the trophy for him.
Well, you're used to being in those big moments, the DMR national champion. You were in a race with Frank. And so just talk a little bit about what Frank meant for you, for this team, and, obviously what the focus was this weekend.
He definitely meant a lot. Ever since my freshman year, he's pushed me. He's come up to me, especially before those 4x4s, and he's always yelled at me about, showing him something and just running those good times and stuff. And he really pushed me to get to where I am today, and then getting to run with him at nationals and stuff was always an encouragement. So going into that 4x4 today, it was definitely thinking about that before the race and everything, and while we were waiting for the exchange. But I think it was definitely a help while he was here, and I'll always remember that. So it's sad, but
Well, let's look at this too, because this is such a tough week. It's been a tough meet just to focus on. What were your emotions like, just trying to get ready for a meet, but still just go through this process?
It was definitely a lot different than normal. Didn't have the normal excitement going into ODAX that's normally there. Just had to kind of pushed through everything. Frank always dealt with everything with him. He'd go out on runs. Sometimes, 10 o'clock, he'd be going out on a long run because he was frustrated with something. So knowing that that was his way of dealing with everything, I think, looked at it as the best way to honor him was to go out there and run for him this weekend. And, that's what he would have done. That's what he would have wanted. So even though it was a struggle, that's kind of pushed us all through the weekend, I think. And, it helped us bring home the trophy once again. So.
Well, final question. It's a three-peat for the third straight year. Lynchburg's getting used to it, but I have to feel that this one just feels a little bit different. What do you want people to know about this Lynchburg outdoor team?
It's a really special team. We're all really close, all about pushing each other to, maybe the time's not there or whatever, especially this weekend. But, just keeping everybody up in some spirits and coming together about the races, whether you did a PR or you just ran a really good race. That's really what I think this team's about, and it definitely is very motivating. So.
Well, it's been so special, and once again, Lynchburg stands alone at the top of the ODAC. Can we get a Go Hornets?
Go Hornets.
What's up, One Nation? Lynchburg ODAC champions. We've got Jonathan Cobb, who has just been sensational every single time he stepped on the track. He is the 10K champ, fourth in the 5K, and obviously, Cobb, we know this is a very different meet, especially with the tribute last night. Walk me through just the emotions when you stepped on the line and really just thinking about Frank.
Yeah, so when I got on the start line, I could hear the music system wasn't very good, but I could hear faintly one of Frank's favorite songs, which is from Eminem, and it was just amazing to hear. It just helped me stay grounded in the moment, and that this was for him, and this was just to run as well as we could for him and just honor him. Just do as best as we could.
Well, it was so special because, you're a guy who stays pretty even keel during races, and watching you through the finish line, it was just, there were no dry eyes in the crowd. And so what did that mean to you to not only win, but to get his record, just to know that he was really still with us?
That run meant a lot to me and to the entire team. Every time I came around the track, crossing the finish line, I could just feel the emotions from everybody, and coming around to the finish and seeing Tor was just so amazing. I just ran straight to his arms because I was like, I can't hold myself up anymore. And there were some tears. I got to hug him, seeing Bryce cross the line just right after me. It was just an amazing experience to be a part of.
We look at this season, Lynchburg has had a history of success, but this one just means something different now, especially with how long and how difficult this week has been. When you look at the outdoor season, what do you want people to remember?
I want people to remember what Frank stood for, and Frank stood for the team. Every aspect of his life was for the team. During cross, I know during nationals, he just wanted us to do as well as we could for the team. We can't control what other teams can do, but we can control what we could do. And this meet just shows that. We all were able to just show out. No matter what other teams brought, we were able to just conquer. And it came down to the 4x4, and we were able to get second and just beat WNL just by a few points.
Well, and that's all you needed, and it's special because not only did it clinch the championship, but it is allowing you to have never lost an ODAC championship here in your tenure at Lynchburg. What does that mean, just winning? Frank was always about winning and really just making everybody go in front. How's that feel?
It feels amazing. Frank was one of the most selfless people on the team. Seeing it every year, he would just come out on the track and run 10K, 5K every time, and sometimes he'd do the 1500 as well. And just being able to lay his body on the line for the team, getting as many points as we could. Even last year when it came down to the 4x4 as well, he did. I'm pretty sure he did the 10K, 15, 5K last year, and that was just you could tell he was hurting by the end, but he did everything he could, and what we did today honored that.
Well, it's absolutely a family. Lynchburg gets it done by committee, and they have once again earned the ODAC crown.